Welcome to Flow into Alignment. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 positions or 5 yoga poses in 10 minutes to help you release tension in your hips and work towards your back bend using the yoga wheel. If you don't have a yoga wheel yet, make sure to get one. Check out the links below. The yoga wheel will really help you work towards your back bends. It's really helped me a lot in that. So grab a block or two, get into some comfortable clothes, get yourself a yoga wheel, and join me today for 5 yoga poses in 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. Touch your big toes together, and you're going to want to place 1 to 2 yoga blocks underneath your hips. For me, I could almost do a full child's pose without support, but I want to do a more restorative style with you today. So that's why I'm going to recommend that you put your hips on blocks. So even if you can touch your hips to your heels, go ahead and use 1 or 2 yoga blocks to lift the hips up and provide a more restorative style for this stretch. Get your yoga wheel, place it in front of you, and lean forward. You want to make sure that your head is supported and it's not hanging off. That way, again, you can get that more relaxed position. So lay your chest on the block, and you might need to turn your head to one side or the other. Stretch your arms out straight, about mat width, and take long, deep breaths, holding this position for about 1 to 2 minutes. Once you've had about 30 seconds to a minute of your head to one side, you'll inhale, lift your head, and turn your head to the other side. In this restorative style child's pose, you should feel your hips and lower back muscles release and let go. And that's what we want to prepare the back for back bending. On your next inhale, lift your head, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, and come back up. These back bending poses can also help if you sit a lot at work. I tend to sit a lot with my job, so doing back bending poses really helps open up my chest, relieve any pressure in my neck and back from sitting on a computer all day. All right, so the next one we're going to do is easy pose. So go ahead and place one leg in front of the other. You may need to sit up on a block. So if your knees don't fall open really easily, go ahead and come up to kneeling, place a block underneath your hip, and then you'll see that the knees fall open a lot easier because it helps release the tension out of the hips. And then we're going to take the wheel in front and lean forward, resting your chest on the wheel. So you can rest your chest on the wheel here and dive forward, or you can cross your arms and rest here. If you're up on a block, this resting the forearms on the wheel is not going to be as comfortable as resting your chest. Resting your chest, you're going to feel that more restorative style of easy pose, and so this will feel more restful. Long, deep breaths here, holding for about a minute. Take a long, deep inhale, squeezing your legs, walking your hands underneath your shoulders, and then we're going to switch sides. Go ahead and change sides. So left leg is going to be in front. Now, if you're like me and have one side that's tighter than the other, usually my left side's tighter and it pulls me down, so I feel myself tilting. I'm going to take a block and put it underneath my left knee. And that might have been your right knee. So you just make sure that you support whatever needs to be supported as you take this forward fold in easy pose. Again, place your wheel in front of you to where you can rest forward, either on your forearms or resting your chest on the wheel, and just taking that nice bend forward. Long, deep breaths. Inhale, lift your head, slowly walk your hands underneath your shoulders and come back up to seated. All right, so the last hip opener we're going to do is bound angle. You may need to stay seated on your block because you're going to place the bottoms of your feet together and your knees may be way up here. So again, you want to decompress the hips, create some space. So you may need to stay with your hips on the block, pressing the bottoms of your feet together and opening your knees out. For me, I'm going to come off the block and instead place the block underneath my knees. That can also be an option for you. So allowing your knees to rest on a block is also really great, taking the pressure and work out of the hips and knees. Place your wheel in between your hips and your heels, and then exhale, lean forward. Long, deep breaths here, holding for about 1 to 2 minutes. Inhale, lift your head, press down into the wheel as you walk yourself back up to seated. Good. So now that you have released any tension in your hips and lower back, now we can work on back bend. I'm going to move forward so I can just make sure you can still see me. Go ahead and place your wheel behind your back. To be able to roll back onto the wheel, you want to kind of help your body understand where you are in space on the wheel, because sometimes it can get a little intimidating to roll onto the wheel. But we're going to start with an upper back stretch before we roll all the way back. So you're going to place the wheel against your back. Your thumbs can be to the inside of the wheel, your fingertips to the outside. I recommend, especially if you have a tight back like myself, where you work in a seated position all the time, hunching forward, I recommend that you get a block, push your back into the wheel to lift your hips off the ground, and place a block underneath your hips. This will create this will help you with your mobility. It won't give you such a deep back bend that can be difficult sometimes. You do want to feel your shoulder blades against the wheel. So if your hips are on the ground and you don't feel your shoulder blades against the wheel, then put a block underneath your hips. Go ahead and place your feet about hip width, pressing your feet firmly into the ground, activating your inner thighs so that your hips stay neutral, so that you have a gentle tuck of the pelvis. You never want to be in this kind of position in back bend. We always assume that this is back bending, but it's not. This is going to create tension in your lower back and create back pain. So tuck your tailbone towards your heels or knees. Lace your hands and place them behind your head. We're going to help prepare the upper back for this upper back bend. Let me move my mic to a slightly different position. All right. So clasping your fingers together, thumbs are running along each side of your neck. You're going to inhale, curl your shoulder blades away from your spine, curl your chin to your chest, elbows to knees. Inhale, squeeze your elbows, open your elbows out, squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine, creating an upper back bend. Exhale, curl away from the wheel, shoulder blades away from spine, elbows together. Inhale, elbows away, squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine, preparing the back for the upper back bend. Inhale, squeeze in. Exhale, open up. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze in. Just preparing the shoulder blades and upper back for this back bend. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. So now we're going to stay in this position. Your head may or may not touch the wheel. That's okay. You're going to keep pressing your feet into the ground to keep your hips in neutral position. Chin may lift or tuck towards the chest. Long, deep breaths. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades towards the spine. This may not feel pleasant. You may feel some tightness of the muscles that run along your spine into your neck. That's okay. Just take long, deep breaths, breathing through the discomfort, in through your nose and out through your nose, expanding your rib cage wide, holding this for 1 to 2 minutes. Take yourself out of this position. Inhale, pull the elbows together and point them towards your knees, chin to chest, tuck your tailbone. You can bring your hands around, thumbs to the inside of your wheel, press your wheel against your back, and push yourself up. Good. So the last pose we're going to do is a deep upper back bend, which is supported bridge on the wheel. So again, you might need to move yourself forward. If you've got long hair like me, you will need to tuck your hair away because otherwise, as you roll back, let me just show you, as you roll back, your hair can get caught under the wheel, and then you're going to get yourself caught and not know how to get yourself out of that position. So make sure to tuck your hair away or pull it up and get it out of your way. You will want to have a block available to you as you roll back. Now, this is going to feel a little bit discombobulating, disconcerting, scary the first time you roll back. So let's roll back together in a way that helps your brain understand where you are and feel safe. So the first thing is to plant your feet at least hip width or wider. Start with your thumbs to the inside of your wheel, fingertips to the outside of your wheel. Press your back into the wheel by pressing your feet into the ground, lifting your hips up. Lift your chin and roll back until you kind of start to feel your lower back against the wheel. Next thing is hands to the ground so that your brain knows where the ground is, and keep lifting your head so that you can see where the ground is. Keep rolling back until you feel the crown of your head, the top of your head touch the ground. Then look for your block. Oops, it's a little far away from me. Okay, get your block. And you're going to walk your feet back towards your hips, tuck your chin, and place the block underneath your head with your chin tucked. Ideally, you want to eventually get your head onto the ground. But if this is new, you're going to need a pillow or bolster to support your shoulders and your head, or just a block to support your head. Keep your chin tucked, shoulder blades squeezed towards the wheel. Legs can stay bent at first, especially if you have a tight back. You're squeezing your thighs towards each other gently. You're not letting your knees touch, but the thighs are squeezing in to help create length through the front of your hips. And you're going to hold this for 1 to 2 minutes, taking long, deep breaths. To come out of this position, you're going to use your feet and pull. Imagine that you're pulling your heels towards your hips. You're pulling your hips towards your heels and slowly roll off the block. Hands can be on the floor so you know where you're at. Chin can be lifted or tucked. Slowly walk to where your hips hit a block or a wheel. Take your head into your hands to chin tuck. Let your hips fall to the ground or a wheel, feet wide. Tuck your chin into your chest. Tailbone towards your heels, thumbs to the inside of your wheel. Push the wheel against your back to come to seated. And then we're going to stretch in the opposite direction to help the back. You don't want to stand up immediately from this because you're going to feel it in the muscles of your back. They're going to rebel. So we want to let everything ease off slowly. So you're going to come into diamond position, which is your legs are almost straight, but your feet are still touching together. Knees slightly bent and open. Wheel against your belly and lean forward in this diamond position, chin tuck. Take several breaths here. Let your shoulders relax as you breathe. Breathe into your back muscles, allowing them to relax. Inhale, lift your head. And that's your 10-minute hip opener and back bending with the wheel. I hope this was helpful in helping you move towards back bending positions, but also to relieve any tension that you feel in your upper back, neck, and shoulders and chest if you're working like me, seated all day. It was great to have you here today, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Take care. Have a great day.